Today, we're gonna be ranking the best ways to get shredded or lose weight from essential all the way down to cope. We've been skinny, we've been fat, we've been literally everything in between, and we've helped hundreds get absolutely shredded. First up, calorie deficit. Yeah, it's funny how there's so many terms bouncing around about how to lose weight, but at the end of the day, you cannot break thermodynamics. Calorie deficit is the only way to lose weight, and everything else in this tier list just helps you be in that calorie deficit. It's gonna be the only thing going into the essential tier. It has to go into essential. All right, so next up we have HIIT, or HIIT for short. Some of you might know what this is, some of you might not. This is high intensity interval training. It's essentially like short bursts of intense training. Think multiple rounds of sprints, boxing, anything where you're putting 100% in for a short amount of time, little break and repeat, because it's intensity interval training. My personal opinion is this is the best form of cardio to do because it helps everything else like testosterone, growth hormone, functionality, and you burn a fuck ton of calories. Even if we think back primarily, HIIT workouts were essentially just what we did, like hunting, gathering, that shit. I'm gonna put it in OP, it's actually a hack. By the way guys, that top link in the description, we have a bunch of different HIIT workouts in there that you can just download. Next up, we got long distance running or jogging. Yeah, or just the cortisol run for short, because that's essentially what I think it is. Although I've never really seen a fat runner. I mean, it does burn a lot of calories, but personally, I think if you're trying to like be aesthetic and hold on to muscle mass and do things outside of running, it makes it very hard. I mean, just look at marathon runners, look at their physiques. There's just nothing left of them. I mean, occasional running is good. It builds your cardio, builds like zone 2, zone 3 cardio. If you're consistently running all the time, you're wearing your body down. You're chronically elevating your cortisol. I'm gonna put it in overhyped. Black coffee. Personally, for me, when I was trying to get really, really shredded before my holiday, this was a hack. Honestly, I think this is a great cutting hack. It really does satiate my hunger. Yeah, and also just caffeine in general is a diuretic. And in terms of building a AAA physique, if we want to be attractive, we want to lose the water weight, we want to look thin, aesthetic, shredded. I'm honestly thinking like this goes in the OP. It's in the middle between OP and helpful for me. I'm gonna put it in helpful. Yeah. Next up, we have the ketogenic diet, aka keto. So we have big proponents of keto. We've made multiple videos on it. This is how we got this dick skin lean. I'm a massive fan of keto. I think literally everyone should be on keto for at least some part of their life and just try it out. I mean, everyone hates on it, especially in the fitness industry. And personally, I tried to find out why, and I couldn't find out why. I think if everyone were to snap their fingers and have 100% discipline, most people would just pick keto to get as shredded as possible. Ziz used keto to get shredded. I'm gonna put an OP. Next up, we have water. No one drinks enough. Contrary to popular belief, the more water you drink, the less water you hold on to, which makes you look better in general. Plus, it reduces your appetite because you're filling your stomach with water. You need to drink at least 4 liters. I'm gonna say this is... It's OP. It's OP for sure. Also because if you're hungry, you might actually just be dehydrated. Drink a glass of water, see how you feel later. Next up, we have whatever this is. This is testosterone optimization or testosterone boosting, which is a massive buzzword, a massive keyword these days. In terms of shredding fat and holding on to muscle at the same time, testosterone is a key part of that. That is why women tend to have a little bit more body fat on average than men, because they have less testosterone and more estrogen. And it's why guys who have low testosterone and high estrogen levels, which is most of the male population, just can't get rid of the fat. Right? If you have high testosterone, it makes it way easier to just be lean in general. But it's funny because you will have high testosterone as a byproduct of dialing all of these things in that are within this list. So it's like a compounding effect. If you get everything else right, the testosterone optimizes itself, which makes it easier as well. Which is why I think people that are overweight get stuck in such a rut. I'm putting it in helpful. I'm gonna put it in helpful. Next, we have mixed martial arts or any combat sport in general. So I don't really think if you consistently go to some sort of combat sport lesson every single week, you go at least four or 5 times a week, there's no chance you're gonna stay a fat fuck. No. You're just not. You burn like 1,000 calories on a good session. Like that is 2 meals. Gone, evaporated. It could just be the deciding factor of you being in a surplus or a deficit. And the reason I'm gonna put it above other cardio activities is because you're learning a great skill in the process and it's enjoyable. Like you genuinely become addicted to training this stuff, which is why I think it's just so much better than running or cycling and things like that, because it's inherently addictive learning the skill, which makes it way more likely for you to actually stick to it. I mean, me personally, I walked in the gym at nearly 90 kilos and within a few months I was below 80. I'm gonna put it in OP. I'm definitely gonna put it in OP. All right, so next up boys, we have, we'll say it's sprinting, but I accidentally just put 2 running in there, but this is technically just a part of high intensity interval training, so I'll just put it in helpful. Sprinting's great. Sprinting is honestly better than running, so if you can sprint. Okay, so next we have the carnivore diet. This has made waves recently. And I think it's good. Don't get me wrong, I think it's really good. I think it's what we're supposed to eat. I'm not gonna argue with that. But I just think it's not as good as keto, because with keto, it gives you just a little bit more lenience to get more nutrients in from things like kiwi fruits, vegetables, and things like that. You're just cutting that out with carnivore, and I honestly don't see why you would. There's more research and studies that show ketogenic diets are a lot more beneficial than carnivore. Like if you actually look into the nutritionists and what the nutritionists say, they'll all say keto. Like it's more just an influencer diet, honestly, because it's like, it's very outlandish, it's very influential. People can promote it like it's some, you know, super diet or whatever it is. Like you're gonna be in ketosis whether you're in keto or carnivore, so you might as well just do keto and get the other selection of foods as well, while also getting more of a nutritional benefit. And this is coming from someone who loves low carb, but I just think carnivore's just too far out on the spectrum. But I'm gonna say it's hard to be in a surplus on carnivore, so it's at least helpful. All right, so next we have Clen and Ozempic. So Clen is just clenbuterol, which is basically just a drug that helps you strip off fat, very similar to Ozempic. It's basically just for fat, lazy people who don't really want to build fundamentals of health and just want to cheat code out. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. It's just how it is. Don't get me wrong, this shit works and it works really fucking good, but I just think build the fundamentals, learn how to lose weight without the assistance of medications. You're lacking the baseline discipline to just lose weight by yourself. Health is a fundamental life skill, honestly, and if you're always relying on some external factor to keep you within your health measures, I just think this is cope. Like for young people who are watching this video, which is most of you do not need this shit, man. Next we have the sauna. Now don't get me wrong, I love saunas, but I think in terms of long-term weight loss, health benefits, amazing. But in terms of putting you into a deficit, there's just better things to be doing with your time. We were consistently doing the sauna, and I felt like it did help me a lot, especially with my athletic output. There is a full guide, by the way, in the Spartan Protocol, a full recovery guide, including ice baths, saunas, all the rest of it. So we are big proponents of it. I just think it's overhyped. Like there's a lot of people that just promote saunas over and over and over. It's the same repeated bullshit. If you're trying to drop water weight and cut down to a specific weight for like a fight or something, amazing. But long-term weight loss in terms of fat, overhyped. All right, next we have walking. I think this is why I've never had a problem ever just losing weight, because I'm just always on my feet. I generally am just always on my feet doing things, walking around. And it's so funny because the people that find it so hard to lose weight, and they always say like, oh, I want to look active, I want to look athletic, but they're just not active in general. Like you can't expect to look active and not be active. I think if you're hitting 10,000 steps a day, it's very hard to be in a surplus and it's very hard to gain weight. If you just hit that number, 15,000 especially, bro, you're losing weight. Even if we're talking discipline, there's not much friction. I think this is helpful. All right, so next we have intermittent fasting, which has also hit waves in the fitness community. I genuinely think this is great. I've always sort of intermittent fasted because I don't really eat breakfast. Therefore, I don't really eat for the first 4 or 5 hours of the day at least. People go super strict with this, but I honestly think if you just sort of have it in the back of your mind, just wait as long as you can for your first meal, it essentially just shortens the window to eat. Also, a lot of people just eat in the morning out of habit. It's all habitual. Like most people aren't really hungry when they wake up. Like next time you wake up, just don't eat and then see how long you can go without eating. I'm gonna say this is absolutely great. I'm almost just gonna put it in OP just because of how easy it is. Because if you combine it with everything else in OP, you're losing weight. All right, so the next one is meal prep. Save the best for last. So meal prep is so good because if you have a diet plan and you meal prep everything on one day for the whole week, you have no choice but to eat just that. Yeah, you can go off the meal prep, but if you honestly tell yourself, these are the meals I eat, and you just stick to that, it is impossible to not lose weight. Like it literally makes it 100% certain. I'm gonna say it's essential, to be honest. So that's basically it, guys. If you would reorder these, let us know where you would put these. I think I'm pretty satisfied with what we got here. If you guys do want 30 more shredding hacks that aren't on this list, just weird autistic things, they're gonna help you get to sub 10% body fat and really build that shredded aesthetic physique, you can just click the link down below, put in your email, and for the next 30 days, we'll send you 30 shredding hacks completely for free. And that'll do, boys. Subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. See you in the next one, boys.